Vlogtober day 20, hello, and hello from the pirate cat. Say hello, Crowe. You can say hello. This is what she does, she sits on my shoulder. You can say hello? No. She doesn't like the light. She's been sat there all evening, till I turned the light on to vlog, and then she doesn't like that. It's too bright for her. Yeah, so we had a really nice walk this morning. Went all down the cemetery. I'll show you a clip from that in a minute. Actually, I'll show you it here. Come on. We're having our walk in the graveyard today. It's lovely down here. It's really nice, especially in the autumn. This is the girls' new lead configuration, which finally works. If you can see there, they've both got harnesses like Maddie's. But instead of doing up at the front or the back, I've got them clipped to the side on the splitter lead. These are the happy at heel harnesses, and they're supposed to have a piece that goes across the front and pulls them from the opposite side, but what I've found is that the two together... Maddie, stop eating grass. Don't pull. Girls. The two together, they actually keep each other in check. They are straining at the leash at the moment because they want to get down the bottom where I let them off. And this is all very new. Lots of new and exciting smells today. And there's always a lot of dogs down here on a Saturday. Everybody brings their dogs down here on a Saturday. Look at my lovely red head. Hello, Gypsy. Not so shy of the camera today. You're going to give us a full frontal. Oh, she's so pretty. She's gradually getting used to the camera. She's pretty good. It helps that she's pretty much tied to Maddie, and Maddie's not bothered by the camera at all. Look how beautiful she is. Gypsy. Yeah, you're a pretty girl. Yeah, I'll take it off her now. Yes, that was nice, and had a nice, it was a really nice day. It was warm, and I could go out in a t-shirt and jeans, but it was just chilly enough to put a scarf and a hat on. And I love that kind of weather, when it's just cold enough that you think, well, I'll just put my scarf and hat on, that'll just keep me warm enough. It's good weather. Gypsy is currently lying over there. I'm not going to turn the camera on her because she really is camera shy. She really doesn't like the camera at all at the moment. And every time I put the camera on her, sorry, I'm just watching the cat walking across the table. Hello, kitty cat. Hello, kitty. Head bump. Head bump. Come on, kitty. Head bump. There we go. Good girl. Yeah, she's, I don't know how she knows it's a camera, but she knows it's a camera. And, sorry, I've got an itchy back. Oh, that's better. Yeah, she knows it's a camera. It doesn't matter how you disguise it, she knows it's a camera. And as soon as you turn it on her, she runs. But she's getting better. She did the video there just earlier, and then I had to turn it off really quickly because she started getting really agitated. I can tell when she gets agitated because her tail starts going between her legs. So, there's no Whimsical Workspaces update today because we're having a day off. We've got the weekend off today. So, cat, don't play with the mouse. Come sit up here. Come on. Come and sit. Come and be on telly. Yeah, there's no update today because... What is it they say? Don't work with children and animals. There's no Whimsical Workspaces update today because day 20 is a day off, as is day 21. The way we do it, we have one day off a week, but between weeks 3 and week 4, because week 4 is a project week, we actually have a complete weekend off. And the idea is that if it's all possible, you walk out of your studios and you stay at your studios and come back on Monday morning and you go, oh, look at this, isn't it fab? Now obviously some of us can't do that. I could technically, but I'm not going to. I am taking a week off next week, not completely, I'm still around. Oh, she's got a mat. I have to sort that out. It's another her favourite things. Yeah, I'm taking a week off next week, although I'm around, obviously, and I'm still teaching. Excuse me, please, kitty cat. I'm still teaching because a lot of people join the workshop late, and week 4 is a project. Now, some people have already got their projects organised, they've known what they were going to do right from the beginning. Christy already knows her project, all that kind of stuff. In fact, I'd be surprised if she hasn't finished it already. I'm surprised she's held out this long. But yeah, some people will get their project finished in a week, other people will need a little bit longer, so they get 2 weeks. Some people started late and are still working on week 2 or week 3. And I don't want to just do my 3 weeks, do my project, and then I'm finished, and people who joined late feel like they're rushing to catch up or rushing to get involved. So I'm actually going to work on my project next week, not this week coming. It's Saturday today, not Monday coming, but the Monday after, which is, I think, the 1st of November, isn't it? Is that the 1st of November? Or Halloween? I can't remember. Anyway, yes, I'm going to have next week off from the workshop, but I'll still be around teaching and vlogging, because I want to get some work done myself. I've got classes I need to film, and I've got stuff I need to get on with, stuff I want to play with, and I can't take another week doing a project. If I do a project, I want to sit down and get on with it all in one go. So I would rather wait until a week on Monday and do mine in one day. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I've got all my materials ready. I just have to literally get up that day, take the dogs out, grab some breakfast, grab a coffee, and get to work. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. It's not going to be a problem. In the meantime, I've got a couple of things to work on. I've got my next class to film. I'm hoping to get that all done next week. And today, I've just been getting back into the swing of sitting at my desk and working, because I just, when you're, really the only work that I've done, not work that I've done, but the only sitting at my desk doing art kind of work that I've done the last week was my show on Wednesday. Everything else has been filming, or it's been working on my own personal projects or getting my studio sorted out. I've had to go out twice this week and go to meetings and vets and everything else. So I really want to spend a week just getting on with some art. And today I just, I took the dogs out, and then I just wanted to be in my studio. I just wanted to sit in here and get on with all the things that are going around my head. So I've been working on, this is one of the things I've been working on. I'll be finishing this page. I've been getting my doodle on today. I was looking at somebody's, apparently she's got a YouTube channel, but I can't remember the name of it. Her name is Pia DM. I believe, not 100% sure, but I believe she's either German or French. But it's Pia, P-I-A, DM, D-I-E-M, as in Carpe Diem. And her username is Doodle DM. Doodle as in doodling. Doodle DM. I'll put a link down there to her Instagram. She's fantastic. I've been following her for a while, and just everything she does is really eye-catching, and she does a lot of similar motifs to what I do, but in a different way. So I just wanted to sit and play, and that was where this page ended up going. I ended up filling the gap with doodles. And then I think, no, oh, hang on, I may have written it down. Did I write it down here somewhere? Oh, I did. Doodle DM Tube. I'll put a link, I don't know, somewhere around here. There will be a link to her YouTube channel. I actually caught one of her videos. It was really late last night, but I desperately wanted to watch it because it looked really interesting. And what she did was she had played with some acrylic paint, and then she used something to lift off the acrylic paint. Now, I don't know if she just used water or what, but I tried it with water and it didn't work very well. I don't know if that's because my acrylics are slightly different, or because she had painted over varnish. She'd actually used varnish to paste down some collage, and then she'd painted over the top. Now, if you've put varnish on, it's not going to dry as fast if you put acrylic over the top. So I'm thinking that perhaps the acrylic stayed wetter for longer and she just used water. But I couldn't get it to work, so instead what I did was I grabbed some rubbing alcohol, and it worked a treat. And look what I did. Can you see that? So all I did was I painted the page, and this is not a new technique, it's just a new combination. So I've used stencils before, plenty of times. I've lifted acrylic off a page before, but it's never occurred to me to use a stencil to do this technique, and Pia had done that, so I thought, hey, that sounds really fun. And like I said, I couldn't get it to work with water, but I used, in the UK we don't get rubbing alcohol, we get what we call surgical spirit. Now this is not as strong as rubbing alcohol, it's castor oil and methyl silicate, but it's basically the same stuff, it's just very, very dilute. So yeah, I thought I'll try some of that, and it lifts off acrylic paint a treat even if it's already dry, because I use it for cleaning my palettes. You could also, if you don't mind wrecking your pen, you could also use a blender pen, I think, to do this, an alcohol pen. I think it worked very well with just I used a piece of paper towel and put a little bit of surgical spirit on, not even very much, laid the stencil down, held it down, and then rubbed through. And I didn't get a very clean impression the first time, I have to admit, but it's the first time I've done it, and what I'm going to do is doodle around it, which is basically what Pia did in her video. She did the stenciling, but she got a much clearer image, and then she doodled around the stencils and turned the stencils into part of her doodle. And I thought, that's a really cool technique, I'm going to try that. So yeah, I'm going to play with that some more. I will put a link to Pia's video channel down below, and I will put a link to the specific video that I was watching. But yeah, if you like doodling and you're short of ideas, go and watch her stuff. She's got about 25 videos up, and they're really good. Really, really good. I love it, because I love doodling. I would rather, although I like painting, I enjoy painting, you know, at the end of the day, I can do just about anything with a pen and a journal. You know, just give me a pen and a journal and I'm still happy. I can still create a page. You know, it's always nice to come across somebody's work that really inspires you and gives you ideas for what you can do with your own things. So I'm doing a page that's inspired by Pia, and then I'm going to see how I can change that to more my style. Because obviously when you're inspired by somebody, it comes out obviously very much like them, and it should be obvious that you know it's inspired by their work. But then I like to go off on my own tangents, stop looking at their work and start, you know, incorporating the techniques into what I do and trying it for myself and all that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. I've got a little thing for you to show you. Those of you who follow me on Facebook, and this is going into a complete tangent. Christy will love this. This is going into I suppose, almost a beauty tangent. Yes, she's going to love it. Those of you who follow me on Facebook will know I've been having problems with my nails. Now, I have problems with my nails every so often anyway, because they get very dry and brittle, and they will break off in such a way that they either split that way and the whole nail comes off, or half of the nail comes off that way. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you know, that's like that. Can you see how the whole bottom of my nail is missing? All of this bit here has come away. That happens all the time with my nails. It's not unusual at all, and I really hate it. And also the other day, because it's gone so cold all of a sudden, and I don't like wearing gloves unless I wear wrist warmers, but I don't wear full gloves on my fingers. my cuticles had gone really rock hard, and by rock hard I mean they were so hard they were catching in things and breaking them off. I actually broke off some hair because I went like this and I got my cuticle caught in my hair and my cuticle broke my hair. Now that shouldn't happen. So I went on an emergency run. When I went into town yesterday, I went to the chemist and I went in and I said, look, I eat healthily, or reasonably healthy. None of the things that are additional that you can use I actually eat. So can you recommend something like a nail penetrating conditioner that will address the problem, you know, while I add some extras to my diet to help them grow a bit better? And she said, yes, I can. Try this stuff. And it's Sally Hansen's Healthy Cuticles Now. Okay, I'll put that, hopefully you can see that. It's very hard to get the light working. There we go. So Sally Hansen's Healthy Cuticles Now. Now it does say that it's for cuticles, but if you read the small print on the back, it says penetrates the nail to condition the nail bed and create healthier cuticles. What I've been doing is, you're supposed to just use it daily, but she actually said if your cuticles are really bad or if your nails are really, really bad, use it every time you like need to put cream on your hands for a week. And I'm constantly putting cream on my hands because, in fact, I'm going to do it now because my hands are feeling dry. Obviously, with being an artist and having animals that I need to clean up after, I am constantly washing my hands, and that is one of the big problems. That, you know, the wet gets into my nails, and then I'll go out with the dogs and it'll get cold and everything cracks, and you know, that's... Anyway, to cut a long story short, ooh, too late. This stuff was really expensive. It's only 14 mil. Yeah, 14 mil. It's not a very big pot, but it does go quite a long way. You don't need very much of it. I can imagine this will last me, I think even with using it several times a day, it'll last me a good few weeks. So if you were only using it once a day, it'd probably last you a couple of months. But I need a bit of intensive treatment here. So yeah, I've been using this. It smells absolutely gorgeous. It smells like orange face cream. You know when you get that really nice face cream that it's just got a very light scent to it? If that was in orange, that's what it would smell like. It's lovely, really, really nice. It makes your hands feel nice. It's not greasy. It absorbs in really quickly. And it's doing wonders for my nails. Honestly, all the jagged edges on my cuticles are going. I haven't had a single nail split on me today, even though I'm not wearing any nail varnish, which is very unusual. I normally wear nail varnish all the time, but I take it off sort of every other night. I take it off so that my nails get to breathe. But yeah, it's magic. So if you're struggling a bit like I am with the cold weather, or you know, if you're constantly washing your hands because you're doing arty stuff and you're having a few problems with your nails or your cuticles getting dry, this is really good stuff. It cost me £7. Yeah, I nearly choked. But it was at that stage where she'd talked to me for about half an hour about it, and she'd actually called over one of the other girls who she had brittle nails because she had extensions, and she was telling me that she'd used it and it was really good, and she had doubted it because of the price, but she'd tried everything else and this was the only thing that worked. And I have to say, for the £7, I think it was worth it. I mean, I'm going to have to replace this in a couple of weeks because it looks like a mushroom. It's like cute. I'm going to have to replace it in a couple of weeks because I'm using it 5 or 6 times a day. Like literally every time I wash my hands, I'm putting some of this on. Or whenever my hands get dry, I'm putting some on. But you know, if it's stopping my nails breaking, to me that's worth it. Because it is getting really bad. You know, you can't go on with your nails splitting all the time. It drives me nuts. So yeah, I'll let you know how I get on with that, but I think it's I am so impressed with it since yesterday that when I run out, I already know I will go and buy some more. And for me to be that impressed with a product that I already know I will replace it is pretty good going. So top marks, Sally Hansen. I don't think much of most of your products, but this one, Healthy Cuticles Now, exclamation mark. This is very good. And it does say Paris, New York, London, and it's made in the USA, so I'm assuming you can get it in America as well. Excuse me, itchy nose. Dog hairs keep going up my nose. So there was that, and then I got Happy Mail today. I like getting Happy Mail. We did a swap over on, now where did I put them? We did a swap over on Creatives. Oh, I know. Sorry. We did a swap over on Creatives of ATCs. And I got a beautiful one the other day off Carol, but I don't know where I've put it. I've put it away somewhere safe, and now I don't know where. So I'm sorry, Carol. I'll find Carol's another time. What did I pop it in here? No. But I got this one off Angie Robco. I don't know how it fits into the swap. I don't think it does fit into the swap. I think she went theme schmeem and did her own thing. But it's called Hearts Have Eyes. Let me try and get it so you can see. Look at this. It's got googly eyes. It is weird and creepy, and I love it. I love it. Look, it's got wiggly eyes. Let me try and show you a bit better what it looks like. There you go. You can see that a bit better now. Isn't it cute? Wibbly eyes. Oh, I bet she saw those wibbly eyes and thought, oh, Romany will love that. Sorry, I have to just get it. Hello, kitty cat. Head bump. Head bump. Oh, good girl. I love it, Ange. It's awesome. It really is. The one Carol sent me is absolutely incredible. It's got like metal bits all over it, and it's very steampunk, and I love it. But I can't remember what I've done with it. I think it's downstairs. I think I left it downstairs to keep it safe. I'm not sure, but I brought this one up because I was going to show you, and I thought the other one was down, up here as well. But it's not. It's around somewhere, don't worry. So that's going in my pile of things to put up in the studio. That's something I'm going to work on during the week next week, in between filming and stuff, because obviously there's times when I have to wait for videos to compile and all that kind of stuff. So rather than, I don't want to say waste a day, but rather than spend a whole day putting up all my stuff on the walls, I thought instead I will use the time when I normally can't do very much because things are compiling, and use that time to put a few pictures up here and there, because hammering things into walls is not the most exciting job in the world. You know, it's not something I enjoy. I've got a few friends coming over to go through all my books downstairs. They've already told me they want to arrange times to come over and have a scavenge. And I'm kind of hoping that when Tim comes, I can talk him into helping me swap my table over. I'm going to take that big table downstairs. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's going downstairs. Possibly into the front room, I don't know. And my sewing machine is coming up here, because every time I think about, like, I don't really sew that often, but whenever I think in my head, oh, I really wish I could sew something right now, I imagine myself sitting over in that corner. So, and also that corner, that table there, it's becoming a dump zone. And you know, dump zones are hot spots. That's one of the things we've got in our Whimsical Workspaces workshop, that I instill in everybody to get your dump zones and your hot zones, the places where you just dump stuff, and either put a system in place, So, you know, if you've got a place where you always dump stuff as you're coming into the room, then it needs a system, it needs an in and out system. So turn it into recycling boxes, or, you know, have a box for post, a box for recycling, a box for things that need to be put away. That's a box for things that need to be actioned, that kind of stuff. Side tables, like my little side table here, they tend to become dump zones, so give them a purpose, you know, decide what you're going to have on there, and make sure that as part of your clearing your desk thing at the end of the day, or in the first thing in the morning, you make sure that all your stuff over there is sorted, and anything that shouldn't be there is put away where it should be. So it has a purpose, it has a system, or if neither of those apply, you get rid of it. Now that table over there is rapidly becoming the corner I put stuff that I don't know what else to do with. Or the corner I put stuff that I can't be bothered to do right now. So I'm going to get rid of it, because my sewing table isn't big enough to do that with. So if I do that, I can... oh, I've just had an idea for what I can do with it. Huh. I'll keep you posted on that. Sorry, I just suddenly had an idea and thought, oh, that would work. Let me just write that down before I forget. See, this is why we have our little notebooks. Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping I can help get Tim to help me swap those two over, because it's not something I can do on my own. I need somebody to help me get up the stairs and negotiate with the two tables. There you go. I'll do that later. So yeah, once I've done that, I can sort out my sewing box and my sewing things, and I will have my sewing machine set up in such a way, hopefully, fingers crossed that it still works, hopefully that I can just switch it on at the plug and use it. And if I can do that, if I can get it to that point, I will be really happy, because that was one of the things that I haven't used my sewing machine because of, is because everywhere I've ever lived, my sewing machine had to be put away all the time, and that's why it never got used. But I do like to sew, and I want to learn how to use my sewing machine, and it would be really nice if I can go, oh, I fancy sewing this thing, I'll go nip over there and go and do it. So we'll see. So yeah, Tim, if you're watching this, bring your heavy lifting arms with you, because we're going to be swapping tables over. He won't mind. So yeah, is that it for today? I think that's it for today. Oh, I had a question. Let me just let me find my YouTube thing. Un momento, por favore. That's terrible, wasn't it? Un moment, s'il vous plaît. You, the tube. I had a question. I had a question. Ooh, I've got lots of questions. Well, I've got more than one question. Christy, I'd already done that. I've already done that one. Already done that one. I had a nice person who makes leather journals, Rustico Leather. So they love seeing more and more people art journaling. I bet you do, because they buy your journals, don't they? And they are lovely journals as well. I haven't actually used one myself, but I've watched some of their channel and followed their links out, because I'm nosy, you know, I like to go and see. And they look nice. They look like nice journals. Not my kind of thing. A bit too pristine for me, but if you like that kind of stuff, then but Romany, that's the part I love most. I like hearing you wax lyrical. Oh, because yesterday I said when I'm teaching I don't wax lyrical like I do when I'm YouTubing. I'd be disappointed if I paid for a class and you didn't wax. Well, I do get a bit high horsey sometimes. There's a time and a place for everything, you know. I will quite happily during my live shows go off on a rant. I did a rant one day about Inktense pencils, because Derwent you bug me, okay? If anybody wants to go and see the original rant, it's on my Blip TV channel or iTunes. But being colourblind, I rely on names and numbers, and I know that if I pick up something and it says cadmium orange hue or hooker's green, I know roughly what colour I'm going to get, and therefore what is opposite on the colour wheel and what goes with it, and everything else, what I can mix with it to get a skin tone and blah blah blah. And you know, hooker's green in De La Rowney is not that much different to hooker's green in Winsor and Newton, or you know, any other colours. But Derwent have suddenly gone off on this thing where they've started using stupid names. Now, if you buy something and it's called Bordeaux, I think everybody would go, Bordeaux, red wine. I think it's going to be a red wine colour. And you'd be right. Yes. But unless you're a wine drinker, you have no idea what Shiloh is going to be. What the hell is Shiloh? Only red wine drinkers would know that Shiloh is a red wine. See what I mean? So yeah, that was one of my many rants. Because Derwent bugs me, because they keep... a lot of the new stuff they're bringing out, they keep doing stupid names on it. And, you know, some artists are colourblind. Some people are learning colour theory. Some people need to know what a certain colour is. So, yeah, stop doing stupid names. Crochet Zombie, Laura, I commented on her video the other day. She has done a fantastic video. I'm going to link it. She's doing her whimsical workspaces thing, but she's gone through all her products and all her individual drawers and all her individual boxes of bits, cleared them out, organised them, and now she knows exactly where everything is, which is part of the workshop. It's something that most of us do later on, but you know, she's a pixie. She's had a week of not having to plan anything because she'd already done it. So she's spent time going through that, and I was so impressed with her collection because she's a beginner art journaler. She's only done one art journal so far, but she's got really into it, and instead of doing what so many people do, she didn't go out and buy a whole pack of 48 Neocolor 2s and a massive pack of golden acrylic paints and blah 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 blah. She's got one or two of a few different things and a lot of different very cheap supplies. She's got things like the Bic markers instead of spending a fortune on, you know, pro markers or Copics or whatever. She's bought the Bic markers, which are the same thing, the same as Sharpies, they're just cheaper. She's got stencils. Instead of buying loads of stencils, she's salvaged some and then she's made some herself from plastic wallets, which is a brilliant idea. I hadn't thought of doing that. I'm going to go and do it myself. She's got a few Prismacolor pencils that she really likes the colour of, but she's also got Crayolas, which are really cheap but really good. She's bought herself a little pack of, I think it looked like about 24 little tubes of acrylic paint, so she's got lots of different colours. And you know, yeah, acrylic paint is acrylic paint, okay? There are some things that if you're a working artist selling work, the likelihood is you want to use a professional grade paint, or at the very least a graduate grade, which is fine. But she's not. She's an art journaler. There's no need to spend a fortune on paint, so she bought lots of colours in a reasonably good brand, but it's obviously a cheap one that she found somewhere really, you know, on a bargain. And all her stuff is like that, and if you haven't seen the video, you should go and see it, because all you people who are squirreling away really expensive supplies and never using them, or using them once and then not knowing what to do with them, you're missing out. She's spent hardly any money on anything, and yet she's got a really good staple set of stuff that she can play with. She's very, very good at determining what is going to be useful to play with at a later date. So yeah, go and watch that video. But anyway, she has this turning caddy. It's really cool. It's got like a thing in the middle and then lots of pockets around the outside, and it's so space saving. And I had a look and I couldn't see one. But I said to her, you know, that turning caddy, you know, come and organise my art supplies and then bring me that caddy. And she said she'd get me one. How sweet is that? Thank you so much, Laura. That's really nice. Give me a shout. Let me know how much postage is, and I'll give you the money for postage. Just I'll PayPal it over to you, because that is a fantastic little thing. I've never seen anything like that before, and it's so good. I could clear most of this side table if I had a little caddy like that that was turnable. I could probably make one, but you know. Do I look like I'm going to? No. Dorothy, thank you for doing these vlogs. I'm really enjoying them. Thank you, Dorothy, for watching. I'm glad you're enjoying them. People enjoying my what's in my bag videos. So there, Christy. Somebody left a question on one of my blogs the other day. The problem with this is you only see bits of... Oh, I know what it was. I can't remember who it was asked me, but somebody asked, when I do journaling, do I have journals that I don't show to people because they're private, or do I show everything? My answer is neither of the above. I'm selective. I will quite often, like this page I haven't written anything on yet. Because I'm still working on previous pages. I don't write an awful lot because I've got a written journal that I keep. My art journals, I've been trying to incorporate the two together, but my written journal, I write pages and pages and pages and pages and pages. It's not so much writing as dumping. And then I will flick back through what I've written and pull out the bits that I feel are important, and they'll go in my art journal. Or I'll rewrite about them in my art journal, having splurged, if you know what I mean. I consider my written journal kind of like a sketchbook. You know, when you're doing a painting, you would do 5, 6, 7, 50 thumbnail sketches to get your composition right and decide exactly what you want in it and blah blah blah. I kind of treat my written journal like that, so I get everything out of my head into my written journal, and then as and when I come up with something that I think warrants being in my art journal, I will transfer it over or rewrite about it once it's clear in my head. So I shared this page. I think it's obvious that the writing will go over here, and I've even got lines to write on it. But I won't do a close-up version of this with all the writing. I don't do that. I don't put my personal stuff online. But I shared the page. If I've got something very immediate that I need to do straight into my art journal right now, for whatever reason, then I will write in my art journal and then I'll paint over it later. Sometimes I need to do that, but not very often. I usually have a written journal with me. But I do share my journals. Any of my friends or family who want to look through my journals are welcome to. Not my written journals, but my art journals, certainly. Anybody who wants to look through them is welcome to. Because my writing on these journals is kind of the edited version. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily in some way fake about it. It's just, I suppose it's like, you know, when you've got to get something off your chest and you rant and you just let rip, and sometimes the things you say aren't necessarily what you really mean. It's just what's going through your head at the time, and you know, once you've taken a step back or you've slept on it and you think the next day, well actually that wasn't very fair, you know, I was a bit harsh there. And that's kind of what I do, you know. I will, it's hard to describe, but it's not the raw kind of version. It's always a slightly more tempered, I suppose. Tempered by a good night's sleep and a cup of coffee, as opposed to just it's like my tribute page for Bear. I put the photos in the day I did it, and I wrote about it in my written journal, how I was feeling. But I wrote about 12 pages, and I repeated myself, and I whined and I whinged, and I was angry, and I was hurt, and I was upset, and I was melancholy, and I was nostalgic, and on and on and on and on and on. when I come to finish this page and write on it, I will go back and I will reread that entry, and then I will kind of do a summary of it on this page with the bits that I feel are important to remember and that should be on this particular page with these particular photos, if that makes sense. So yes and no, I do share everything in that, you know, whatever's going on tends to end up in my art journal, but it's always the slightly tempered, edited version rather than the raw kind of blah that I start with, because my raw blah, that can go on for several pages. I think the longest journal entry I ever did, I had an A4 book, and the longest journal entry I ever did was 33 pages. I wrote essays for my law degree that weren't that long. So, you know, I don't want to spend 33 pages writing in my art journal. No. But my written journal, you know, when I need to get ideas out of my head or whatever, that's where I go. And my written journals are private. Nobody reads my written journals, ever. Because, I don't know, my written journals is like being inside my head. And honestly, if you were inside my head for a day, you'd think I was crazy. And you'd probably think you were going crazy as well. Because that's just how my head works. But I'm quite happy to share my art journals, I just don't put them online because I think you can overshare online. One of my jobs before I did this, I actually used to teach online at a college, and part of what I taught was safety on the internet. And even adults should be amazed how dumb they can be. They'll have like a Facebook page that is public. Anybody can wander past it. They've got no security settings. And then they'll say, right, we're off on holiday for a week, hope the house will be alright without us. Well, good luck getting hold of the police when you come back and find that your house has been burgled, you dumbass. But yeah, that was one of the things I had to deal with. And once you put it out on the internet, you cannot retrieve it. It's there forever. And as far as I'm concerned, there are some things that don't need to be out there forever. I'm quite happy for people to see my art. I'm quite happy to put pages up that perhaps I've written about something that's not particularly personal. I wrote about a page about the Jubilee, you know, that's not particularly personal, so I put it up, that's fine. Or things that are not particularly important in any way, like the page I did about when I got my dreads cut off and how it made me feel and how, you know, how I felt about going back to having normal hair. That's not personal. That's the kind of thing I would chat about to a friend online who maybe had dreads and wanted to get rid of them, and they were asking me about how I dealt with the change and things like that. So, you know, but there are some things that don't need to be online, and I think a lot more people should be aware of that. And this vlog is extremely long, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you to whoever asked me that question. I honestly can't remember who it was, but thank you. That was a very interesting question, because I think it's probably one of the most common questions I get. How did you start journaling? And do you share everything you do? Are probably the two most common questions I get as a journal artist. I will cover how did I start journaling another day, should anybody want to know. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go and feed the cat, make a coffee, and carry on with my doodling. Check out Doodle DM's channel if you get a chance, it's brilliant. Go and check out Laura's video of her basics beginner journaling supplies, because it's really, really good. And I will see you, it's Sunday tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably do a vlog tomorrow, but it'll be a short one, as opposed to this, which is a monster. It wasn't intending to be. Sorry. Bye.